So in this segment, we're going to be discussing the UK-US deal and the desperate need for Nick Ferrari to call this a Brexit win when it's not even close.
Is this a Brexit bonus?
I don't think it's anything to do with Brexit insofar as... who's wrong?
The president. The president said this was aided by Brexit. The president of the United States, a man called Donald Trump.
Oh, I know the guy. Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of him.
He thinks Brexit's a good deal. Of course, he said that a lot.
Yes,
which is proven not to be, taking 4% or 5% off GDP. But okay. But then again, he's taken GDP off his own country, so he would think it's a good deal. We've taken more off than he has.
I suppose what he was referring to was the fact that we're the first country in the world to have got a deal across the line with the president and getting tariffs.
No, that's not true. The deal is not across the line. It's worthless for now. It's just an agreement. Nothing's been implemented yet.
And which is great news for the UK economy.
But it wouldn't have been possible if Britain was still in the European Union, would it?
As of right now, as far as I'm aware, the UK has the same amount of tariffs as the EU does. So again, I don't know what bro's talking about.
I don't know.
Well, how...
You?
Sorry. How... Well, no, I'm not familiar, and I'm not Chief Secretary to the Treasury. Thank God, the country's suffered enough. But how would a deal have been done if Britain was still part of the European Union? How would...
It would have negotiated as part of the EU's theme to lower the tariffs.
That have been achieved with President Trump? I'm intrigued. This is part of Brexit, isn't it? An unexpected, unintended Brexit boost.
The world has changed so much since Brexit. I think what you're asking me is, would we have been able to negotiate a bilateral set of arrangements as part of the European Union? What I'm saying to you, Nick, is I actually just don't know.
Okay.
But
so when Donald Trump
we live
says
in,
this was separate because of Brexit in particular, it always seems so natural. He's not getting it quite right, in your view.
Well, no, that's his.
What we're always trying to do is make him disagree with the president and kind of scupper this deal, which is deeply unpatriotic, but it's just the most nonsensical argument. If you listen to an economist in Joseph Stiglitz, I think that's how you pronounce the name, saying it's not worth the paper it's written on.
Agreement with Trump isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Right.
The U.S. signed an agreement with Canada and Mexico during Trump's first administration.
The USMCA, which he said was a great deal, and then he turned against it.
One of the first things he did when he became president was to rip it up and impose 25% tariffs against Canada and Mexico. So I wouldn't view it as a great achievement. In fact, I would view it as playing into Trump's strategy. His strategy is divide and conquer, go after the weakest countries, and
oof, that's us.
And sort of put the stronger countries in the back. So who are the strong countries? Well, obviously, China has not reacted in a conciliatory appeasement way. China has responded with high tariffs and made it very clear that U.S. is very dependent on China in so many ways, including rare earths and minerals.
The other thing is the fact that there is an agreement coming between China and the US to cut tariffs. So China escalated back with the US, and it looks like they're going to get some sort of agreement. So this idea that because we completely kissed the ring effectively, we got a sweetheart deal and it's some sort of Brexit bonus, complete nonsense. And so Nick Ferrari's argument here makes no sense. Darren Jones, being a bit coy, which is, I guess, understandable given circumstances, but it's not a Brexit bonus, not even at all. But anyways, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Support the channel on Patreon if you can, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.